friends, welcome. So just to let you know, we are going to start in a couple of minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Just for everyone, if you have taken internet access at Unity Pavilion for temporary connections just now, please disconnect your devices because we will be using that internet connection for streaming. So for a better streaming and for people sitting outside so they can also see what is going inside, we need that internet connection. So if you have taken network connections at Unity Pavilion, please disconnect your devices. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome to the Residents Assembly meeting, which will be held by the Residents Assembly Service, which is here. Let me introduce my team members: Satish, Giovanni, Dan, Verena, and Tatiana, myself, and the three facilitators who stepped forward to help us, Julia, Elisa, and Fiv. And I invite you to begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. So now I pass the mic to Satish.
Thank you. Welcome and good evening to everyone. Before we get started with this Residents Assembly meeting today, RAS would like to give a last-minute information that we have received as well from the Madam Secretary of the Auroville Foundation, Dr. Jayanti Ravi, who wanted to take 10 to 15 minutes of our meeting time over here today to address any questions that the community has could be answered by Madam Secretary over here today. So does everyone feel comfortable with that? I mean, okay with that to go ahead? Calm down, please. You want to?
Whether it is just addressing us or participating in the meeting. I think that we have to make clear.
Yeah, it is only to address any questions if there are any at this meeting, and not to be fully part of this meeting actually. Just wanted to address any questions.
So just for your information, Madam Secretary is already here in the room. Just to let you know that she's with us now. So just that for your information, we have to decide quickly if we're gonna give her space for us to ask questions. As far as I understood it, she would not present anything. She would only answer questions if you have. If nobody has questions, I only wanted to add to what Satish said, that Madam Secretary is already with us, so just be aware of that, because if you talk to someone who is here, is not an imaginary person. He's physically with us. So just, I would like you to consider that. He's a human being who lives in this community. He's not a resident of the community, just that.
Thank you. Show of hands. Huh?
This meeting is going to fetch any unity. If we are here for unity, as an administrative officer of Automobile Foundation, I mean, it's least. She should be given the opportunity to talk. Right? We are here for unity.
Thank you.
Voice, a very loud voice also I can have, and I can also, we can talk across and stuff also. I can also do that. I've been here long enough to open my mouth. Because I think, please take few seconds, breathe in, breathe out, and speak quietly as well. Anybody in this room. And I'm tired of this. Every meeting, same old thing. People crisscross all the way through. Please don't do that. Raise your hand if you need to. Maybe somebody can guide you to speak. Whoever, not you only. So don't look at me directly as I'm targeting you. The whole room. The whole place. Okay?
Thank you.
Crisscross, and you can do for half an hour, 2 hours, and you can go home. This is not going to be accepted. You don't go no more.
May I make a suggestion? She has in the open floor like every other.
Oh, thank you. So I guess we just...
No, I don't speak to you. I do not just wonder.
I believe the community has much more than 15 minutes of questions after the last 2 weeks. So what I would love to listen to what she has to say. However, I would also love to have a community process. So what I'm afraid is if we open this box of having a discussion with the secretary, we won't actually end up having a discussion between the community. Maybe we can start by having the presentation, and like we can give her a slot in the presentation.
To use the mic for the people outside. So when we don't know what happened.
Sorry?
I think it is wise because a lot of emotion, a lot of questions are also.
But yeah.
People cannot...
I don't know. Yeah, take it. Yeah. What is that we're trying to get? Maybe check
I
with
think we better just invite you here and let you deal also.
Check. Okay. Okay, so giving the mic is not gonna work because there are so many people here. So I have one request because there are cameras as well and we are live broadcasting. I have a huge request. If you have something to say, please come here and use the mic. There is a standing mic as well. That's what is needed, yeah? There's a standing mic over there, mic with a stand. Only one, yeah. We have a standing mic over there.
So, but I have a proposal. If we go into discussion now, this will take the meeting. Come on. We cannot talk half an hour to say yes or no. So Satish was proposing a vote. We can do this, or we can simply, we cannot give time. Look, be mindful of the time. You want to talk half an hour? If some person has the 10 minutes to talk,
No, we cannot have people talk now.
Okay,
All right.
so I'm hearing right now a kind of request to the secretary. Sorry, I'm hearing, I thought it was working. I'm hearing a kind of request from voices of the room to the secretary to actually maybe have this interaction later on. Is it? Once again, we need to keep that short. We have some things to do. There is an intention
have
to
no time
our
today.
meeting, and we just need to be clear with respect and considering all of us. Yes, so it's a big task right now, and we are unclear. So I heard some no's. So my request is it a possibility for the secretary that we plan that first in advance, but at a later stage within this process. Is it possible? Dr. Jayanti Ravi, would that be agreeable to you? My understanding right now is we need to meet together. There is a fracture here. We are all very sensitive. Our collective body is quite fragile. We need to meet, we need to hear one another.
Before we discuss, why don't we hear her what she has to say?
Because the room,
Sorry.
because
I don't know how to do this.
because it's not the intention of the process and of the room, yet it can be included. Because there is an offering, so we can see when to place it so that it's meaningful for.
Take another 1 week for that. So I think, sorry, as Madam Secretary is here, no, I don't need the mic.
Guys,
As Madam is here, and I think a lot of questions is related to the action what was done. Absolutely. She directly can explain, and so
I understand. Guys, how do we want to hold that? We know, and can we, okay, I have a request. We are many in the room, and we are not here to police and to, and yell and yes and no. We need to find constructive, peaceful ways forward right now, and clear. So what I'm hearing is that there's still a part of the community which is not comfortable to start the discussion with the secretary. First, to start among us as Eurovillian. There's still a membrane between internal processes and including the foundation. Yeah, so I know, I understand the request, and I'm not the one saying yes or no. Who am I to say that? I'm just hearing, and we need to take a decision because the focus of this meeting is actually for us to discuss and come to more clarity. Guido? I didn't say anything. So we started.
I'm ready to get all the flag. I'm ready to get all the shouting. But I'm shaking. I'm shaking actually by the reaction of the community. Can't we show a little bit of respect? Yes, 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 you can shout at me. Yes, you can shout at me. I'm shaking because if you don't feel in your body what is going on here, then where is the sensitivity? Then where is the respect? No, it's not too late. Actually, we could have taken, I don't know whether we will take it, but we could have taken this opportunity to indeed ask questions. questions which I myself also have, to indeed ask questions. Just dedicating, please let me talk, dedicating half an hour for this process. And afterwards, we can have our meeting, we can have our presentations, we can listen, but is it really that difficult to do?
This is the minority
Thank you.
applauding now. We have to acknowledge this.
Okay. Is this working? No. Yes? Okay. Okay. Can I? Can we? Hello?
Hey,
Hey guys!
Guys?
can we?
Hey guys!
No, we don't go with that.
Can we
Can I-
please all calm down?
Kalia, Madam Secretary, do you see what is the
We
impact
need to calm down.
of your request?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Ask everyone to sing Om, please. Ask everyone to sing Om. Please, you ask.
Let's all together, just one more time, sing Om.
What?
No cell phone filming. Why? Because he's using it.
Sorry?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Can we
you.
please sit down? Everyone, please. We come back to the room. Let's come back here. And to be honest, I don't know what to do right now. But I want to check in. Sorry? You cannot hear. Sorry. Okay. Is it? I'm on? Yes, I'm on. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's true. No, it's okay. It's okay, thanks. It's okay. Let's just have a moment of silence, just a moment of few breaths, just to calm down and cool down. Okay. So it's already 5:25, and I just want to check, either we have a show of hands in order to have a sense of what's happening in the room, or we request that there is still the RAM2 that is going to happen, and then we park this time at another time. You cannot hear outside. Okay. Can someone from the technical, now it's good. Okay, thanks. We didn't really start it yet. We didn't start the meeting yet, so it's very important for us to come to talk. So I would really like to request the secretary, is it possible, please, that we plan that in advance another time? Because I don't know how to hold space right now. And I'm sorry for everything that happened in a way, but it really shows that we need to talk first among ourselves in order to have also clarity. And there will be question, and I think there will be a lot of meaning to actually create a conversation between the community and foundation soon. But there's a need to talk here. So that's the only thing that comes right now. I don't want to be applauded on that. It's just a request. I just want to know how is it? Is it okay? Well, I'm directly making a request to the secretary. Okay, then we go for show of hands. Okay, it's okay. I heard it. Thank you. Shall we go for a show of hands?
No, I would like to say why not. Okay, couple of things. This request is being made to the secretary on the grounds of process. And the background here is, this is a fragile community. Things have happened over the last 3 weeks. Maybe the foundation is fragile too, I don't know. But emotions are high. There are divisions fraught right now, as you have witnessed. And the reason this request is being made to you directly, to set intent, so that I'm sure the whole community has lots of questions, but we would like to come prepared with that intention. That's the first thing. Second thing, show of hands is not going to work because there are people in this meeting that are not just here in this room. And if you want a show of hands for everybody who's attending this meeting right now, that's not physically possible. And the third thing is the question that Eliza just made to you, Madam Secretary, with the right reasons and explaining why we would like to do what you want to do in a different setting. The answer that we're waiting for is from you. We're hearing answers from everybody else, but we haven't heard you. Can you reply to that request, please?
Madam Secretary?
Please come forward, Madam Secretary.
Come. Madam Secretary, will you come forward, please? Come. Yes, come. Come.
You got a chair there?
Yeah,
We'll take it.
she can just stay there, but just stay.
I know, I think better just be.
Can you please excuse me?
Yes, come.
Can you excuse me?
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Can we all be silent for a few seconds, please? Okay, if you don't want to be silent, would you like to shout? I would certainly take this invitation of having another interaction with all of you, but today I want to ask all of us to again reflect on why is it that we chose to come to Auroville. Auroville was not a place. You can shout if that gives you happiness, but I'll again request all of you to be silent. It's a time again for us to reflect why we came here to Auroville, and again touch our hearts and ask ourselves, this is a city that was dreamt of by the mother. There's no place.
I'm very sorry to interrupt you here. There was a clear request. And a clear request from us, from all of us, the diversity in this room. We need time to talk to each other, to reconnect, to heal, to find common grounds. Would you be able
Okay.
I will take it back.
So, please finish.
So if you want to continue this for another half an hour, 1 hour, I'm game with it. But if you would allow me to say what I've come here to say for just 2 to 3 minutes.
Guys.
Continue.
2 to 3 minutes. Guys, 2 to 3 minutes. I think it's
your mind? Yes? Are you sure?
Please continue. No yelling? Yes. Yeah. Shut. Guys? Okay. Guys. Selvaraj? No. Guys. Hello? Guys, we cannot. No, sorry. Guys, we won't go anywhere. We won't go anywhere by yelling. Sorry, I'm yelling also on the microphone. But we won't go anywhere there. Can we please, I know it doesn't feel right for some members of the community to give this time. I know that, we heard that. But we are where we are right now. And we also, as facilitator, we are right now. No one knows what to do. Can we please give these 2-3 minutes and come back to us just after? Thank you. Dr. Jayanti Ravi. No, please. No, sorry, not now.
I want to say. Thanks. Hello. Good evening. Listen. Please listen. See, from all of our attitude, I am shaking. You know, I am shaking. Can I talk, please? I am shaking. I have not come here for this. I have not come for this. Can you all keep quiet, please? No, go out. If you can't go, go quiet,
I'm sorry.
go out.
I'm sorry. No, please. No, I'm sorry. No, it's not. Okay. It doesn't work. Guys, I'm sorry. Can you please? No, I'm sorry.
No, I have to say.
No.
I am the residence here.
Can you please finish what you
I am the
want to say?
residence. I have not said anything what I have to say. Illa illa. You are not wasting so much time now, so far? No, please. On the mic.
Okay.
On
You know
the
what?
mic.
No, but we cannot deal with every request. Okay. Okay. We are trying. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So, can we all ask ourselves why we have come here? Am I audible? Can we increase the volume, Kshitij? This may be better. Can we have all of us ask ourselves why we came here? Well, the 2 minutes that we asked for, the 2 minutes that I asked for have yet not started then. I would like those 2 minutes in silence. And if we're going to be, then I think I'll wait for that silence for you to quieten down and let me say what I want to share with you. Let's ask ourselves why we came here. We came here to be a part of the community that manifests the dream of the mother. And this is something we all collectively ought to be doing. I will certainly look forward to meeting you all again, possibly after a week. But my earnest request to all of you is that we cannot let Auroville, which has been a beautiful dream of the mother. It is perhaps the only place on planet Earth and the only place where the country, where Mother India has given unbridled freedom to try out this experiment. I think we must bear this sense of gratitude. We must also know that with this freedom comes discipline, responsibility, to realize that we are less than 8% of that entire community for which we have to work as willing servitors and help manifest the city so that the rest of the people of goodwill who are truly aspiring to come here can come. Can we be less selfish and try and work in a selfless way to welcome the 92% of the people who are also entitled, for whom the mother dreamt of and created this beautiful city? I've been seeing plans of this, and I have traveled to different parts of the world, and I can tell you that what is envisaged here is something that no other city in the world has. So on that note, I again want to leave this question with all of you. I again want to leave this question with all of you to ask yourself this question. If this happens, I may have to wait a little longer to complete my sentence. Thank you. So I'll have to wait a little longer till the claps stop to start my sentence again. If you'll let me finish. And with all of this, we're only displaying our sense of goodwill, our sense of responsibility, our sense of commitment to the dream of the mother. And I want again to request all of you to be willing servitors, instruments, genuinely, with your heart, trying to do what it is that we actually came here for. We are here to support you in that, facilitate it, accelerate it, be beside you, behind you. But I think if we try to disrupt this process of building the city that has been dreamt of by the mother.
Please conclude. Dr. Jayanti Ravi.
If
Silence.
So if we are going to disrupt this process, as we are doing now successfully, in the last how many minutes? What is the time now? 5:45. All we asked for was 10 minutes. If we cannot, this is what has happened for 53 long years. So let's ask ourselves that question. And if we don't collaborate and act, as the mother said, there might be situations that the force may actually move us in that direction. It's already happening. So let's collaborate. This is a wake-up call again for all of us. And on that note,
yeah.
So on that note, I would like to thank you for giving me not a very patient hearing, but a majority of you did, and I appreciate all the senior members here who did, and look forward to a more detailed Thank you for translating that again. Would you like to wait till we complete?
Excuse me, Dr. Jayanti Ravi, please complete so that we can start also.
If they would let me,
yes.
well, I think if you want to say some more
because
things,
it was
you can
longer than
continue.
expected. Please conclude. Thank you.
So we want to meet you all again, possibly after a week. But in that interim period, again, my request is to introspect and ask ourselves why we came here and contribute our bit to make the city of Auroville happen. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Leave it to the facilitators. We don't have any other space. I think it's over.
Yeah,
Let's not take it on from here. Let's go on with the meeting. The facilitators are...
The answer is no. So, okay.
Are we ready? All right. So, yeah, so our agenda is first to brief you about the decision-making process and where we are today, just to, yes, to give you a clear picture of where we are heading to. So I pass the mic to Giovanni.
So there will be a slide projected soon. See, I'll put, I can't speak louder, I can put the microphone closer. Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me now? Good. So my name is Giovanni. I'm a member of the Resident Assembly Service. I'm here to give you a brief summary of how the process works to make a decision. It's contained in a policy which the community approved only a few months ago in October. But before going into the details of the policy, I want to read a statement that we prepared together. So just to give you a quick clarification, the Resident Assembly Service believes that this meeting is neither illegal nor invalid, as some have written. The Residents Assembly Service is carrying out its duty to follow the decision-making policy. Yes, the Crown Road is in a master plan already approved by the community. This was in July 1999, more than 20 years ago. Nothing prevents the Residents' Assembly from meeting and discussing again, as done with many other internal policy. Now we can go to the policy, which I don't see still projected, but there are 6 steps to this policy. The first step is how you initiate a decision. It can be initiated by a working group or by at least 60 residents. A few weeks ago, the Resident Assembly Service received a petition signed by over 500 people. We checked that at least 60 of these 500 were residents of Oroville, so we validated the petition, and we met the petition representatives, a group coordination team that they created, and the 2 facilitators, which I still hope will facilitate later. We will see. Then we went to the next step, which is this meeting, RAM1, Resident Assembly Meeting, the first Resident Assembly Meeting. So this is the first meeting of a long journey. We will not vote anything today. We will just introduce the topic. You will hear from the petition representatives. You will hear different perspectives. And at the end of this sharing, there will be an open floor, so everybody, or at least as many of you, could have the chance to talk. We will listen, and then we will take the pulse of the people attending, and we will discuss next steps. One that is going to be sure is, I don't see it, but is the Resident Assembly Meeting number 2. So in the following meeting, there will be the chance for, step back. Step number 2 is the feedback. So the Resident Assembly Service will send a report of this meeting, giving the community the time to send us feedback. We will collect all the feedback and we will hand it over to the petition coordinators, because it's their task to integrate the feedback into a new proposal, which we will discuss in meeting number 2. So we will call this second meeting, and you will again hear from the petition representatives how they consider your feedback, if they integrated your proposals into the new proposal, or they rejected them. And they will explain why they accepted certain comments, why they rejected other comments. At the end of this second meeting, we will again check with the participants if the petition is ready to be submitted to vote. If the room will disagree, because there is still the need of more refinement, then there will be another meeting, and potentially many more meetings until the people in the room will decide to move on and put this to the Resident Assembly to decide, to vote. So this is the following step, the voting process. The Resident Assembly meeting service will send you a link to vote. You can do it online, or if you prefer the traditional way, you can do it also offline. You can come to the office. We will have places and time for you to vote. Then we will count the vote. First of all, we have to be sure that the quorum for the decision to be valid is met. You might remember that the quorum is 10%, so 10% of the population has to vote, otherwise the vote is not valid. And the last time we voted was in October for the policy I'm just talking about, and the number was 239 people. So we have to check again how many are we now, redo the calculation and see. Of course, we will count the yes and no at the point, and we will announce the result to the community. The last step is the implementation, which is maybe the most, at the point, controversial, because we will have done our job. The Resident Assembly Service finishes its mandate. Now it's up to either the residents, which are concerned by the decision, or the working groups, which are concerned by the decision, to implement it. So that's it for explaining the process. I hope this brought some clarity. If there was uncertainty on how these things works, feel free to contact any of us. Tatiana is there, the other four of us are here, if you have need of other questions. But before handing the microphone over, I want to tell you a story. I will be quick, 2 minutes. So it's the story of a family who had to take a very important decision. They were living in a village, but the brother, there were 2 siblings, this brother wanted to move to a city because he wanted to have more comfort, he wanted to have exhibitions, he wanted to go to the university, he wanted to have more people around. And the sister, she wanted to stay in the village because she loved the trees. She was in love with the river, the water all around, and the group of friends, a small group of friends she had. So they were fighting constantly. Then the mother, the mother, she said, okay, she called a meeting and she said, now we have to sit around the table and take a decision peacefully. You talk and the other one listen, then it's your turn, you talk and they listen. So what didn't happen is that the brother didn't go there and throw away the table, violently saying, I don't want to hear from her, I want to go to the city. And neither the sister was maybe shouting at the brother, saying, why, I want to stay here, or crying or shouting. No, they were talking peacefully. Now, I won't tell you the end of the story, because it doesn't matter if they move to the city or they stay to the village. Why I wanted to share the story is because the process is important, how we manage that peacefully. So I believe in miracle, and I believe that during this meeting we will be peacefully talking to each other without distinction. And maybe we will arrive also at a pacific and shared solution of this complex matter. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So I'm the only facilitator. And I need your help, guys, to somehow that we share a meaningful space. So we had the intention of this agenda as it was presented by the RAS, and we somehow, we don't know where we will reach, and the defining the RAD equation and take the pulse, we will include it, but we will see how to rearrange time, basically, because presentation also will need to be slightly shorter. In order to nurture a space which feels safe and meaningful, that was our intention. We wanted to have few invitations, having a shared responsibility of the space, but also we wanted to really clearly say no violence, physical, emotional, psychological, mental. Any spark here, and we saw it, can actually really become bigger and can become a fire. And I'm not sure, I think we all see that right now we don't need more fire. We need some more water and healing and deeper understanding and clarity. And so there's an invitation to really have a quality of space altogether. An invitation also to speak from the I, and not we are, you are, but more speaking from your experience, how you perceive situations. That helps in situation of crisis. And we wanted also to invite during the presentation of the sharing that actually when you talk in order, we are in a decision-making process. And yet it's not a collective decision, so it's interesting. So together our individual result will make the decision, but the intention when you talk is actually to talk to the whole of Oroville. There are people online, we need to take a decision. So whatever you have to share, please share the essence, what's really important for our collective body to be aware of, to be informed of. Yeah, that would be an intention to keep. And last, of course, being open to others' experience and perspective. That would help the quality of the space. So these are intentions for the meeting. We are going to have presentations of, basically we wanted to have people who answer yes, who would have a stand for yes to the answer of, sorry, I don't have the Arrhed equation. Can someone read the Arrhed equation? Yes, please.
So the Arrhed question is to stop all development work on the Crown until further notice from the RA. This is the petition that has been handed over by 500 residents. More.
Alors, they are coming, but at a different moment. Maybe RS can talk about that, but this process is on this Arrhed with this question about stopping the work until further notice. So we will come back to the further notice later on, but for now we are going to start with presentation. So we will have some presentation of why people would answer yes to this question. What is the ground and what they see that it will provide, nurture, bring. And then we will have some people who think, no, it shall not stop. And why, and so we will have some time for presentation, and then we will open to the sharing of the room. Yeah? I'm just feeling that until what time we can be here? I don't want to hold us too long, but the meeting was planned until 6:30. That's going to be a challenge. Okay, so let's just start. Let's just start with the presentation, and yes. Do we have? No? No, there's TDC. Yes. Can we? So we can start with the first presentation of, the ones, how would you call it, from whom, the presentation? From the petitioners. Okay, so please start. Is there a mic stand? Okay.
So we'll need the appropriate slides. I don't know if there's someone behind the computer there. Chitic? That's my computer. Thank you, Chitic. That's actually why I was... Anyways. Yeah. And you can start the presentation? Yeah. Great. Okay, so we're here basically to talk about this petition topic that has been signed by many residents, which is to stop all development work on the Crown until further notice from the Residents' Assembly. So next. So in our understanding of this wording, this actually implies two steps, yeah? There is to stop all development work on the Crown, and there is until further notice from the RA. So this actually implies two movements somehow, which is that we're actually making a pause. We're not wanting to stop all development. We want to make a pause to have the time to reflect on the how we do it. And that's actually really the request in this petition. Yeah, so we feel that without this pause, we all remain in the defensive space, like we can all see right now in the room, we all remain in that very tensed feeling. And that might lead to further escalation. And it's not conducive to peace and progressive harmony, which is what we're here for, right? So we need to take a breath. And we need to realign, and we need to move forward together. And for this, we need time to meet and to discuss, and that's why we want to have a pause. Basically, that's it. Next. Yeah, and step 2 would be to discuss, to have a collective process, to discuss on how we're actually going to make this, and how we're going to make this happen, yeah? To start the work again. So we thought it would be nice just to, for those who might not have an understanding of what's actually the current structure of the Orwell Foundation, to go very, very quickly, very briefly into it, for those who might not be familiar with it.
Hi, everyone. So we'll have a really quick look at the legal structure of Orwell. Orwell Foundation, wait, sorry. Orwell is structured by the Orwell Foundation Act passed by the Parliament in 1988. And under the Orwell Foundation, there are 3 different authorities. Firstly, the governing body, the governing board, which is appointed by the central government, and its role is to work in collaboration with the Residents' Assembly for the development of Orwell. Second is the Residents' Assembly, which is us, all of us, all the residents of Orwell over the age of 18, registered in the Register of Residents. And our role, as per the Act, is also to work for the development of Orwell in consultation with the governing board. Third is the International Advisory Council. It consists of 5 members chosen by the central government, and its function is to advise the governing board and the RA, Resident Assembly, about the activities related to the management and development of the township, and also to make sure that the development is done by the spirit of Orwell, keeping up with the Charter of Orwell. And then we have the Secretary of the Governing Board and the Orwell Foundation Office. And there is the Working Committee. It's a working group consisting of 7 members, chosen by the Residents' Assembly to represent the Resident Assembly to other bodies.
Thanks. Next. So just that we are on the same understanding, because the question of the master plan will come in the room very soon. I guess. So in the master plan, there are these are 2 chosen excerpts, insisting on the fact that the master plan provides a policy framework, and that it is a policy framework, and that basically it has the implementation phase have to be strengthened through a participatory environmental management process. So that's in the master plan that is gazetted, and that we agreed. Next. So if you look at it in a very simple way, simplifying a little bit, so we have the master plan, which is a policy framework, which is not static or rigid. Then we are supposed to have detailed development plans, which are 5 years plans integrating planning policies, development programs, and projects. Then we have annual and layout plans with annual project plans with budgets. And finally, we're supposed to move to implementation. So right now, the reason why there is a bit of a tensed feeling is because it is felt that the 2 intermediate steps, which is DDPs, detailed development plans, and annual layout plans, have not been respected because we don't have any at the moment. So basically, we're just going from the master plan to the implementation of the master plan without having the intermediate steps. So that's actually one of the big concerns right now. And I'll give the mic to Glenn to have a bit of an overview of what happened the last year in regards to the Crown topic.
Okay, I'm Glenn. A bit of a deja vu because I seem to be here 8 months ago. Is the mic on? Yeah. What I will do is to do the time. I joined this only yesterday afternoon. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I know. It's very difficult to be here. You'll have to bear with me. I have a bit of an overview of, I wasn't asked, I came forward to give an overview yesterday of how the latest two developments brought us to the point. I won't go into what happened in the last 10 days. Lakshmi will do that afterwards. But just so that you understand the process that was followed, that happened, and what brought us to this position that we're in. Next. Next. Sorry. So, the development of the Crown area through the Bliss. First, I'll talk about the Bliss and YC area, because that's what happened in the last immediate future. Mike, sorry. Okay, next. So, I won't detail all this. We haven't got time. We've got to go quite fast. But basically, the initial happening started in February 2020. And that was to try and push for the development of the laying of the HD cable. Now, that was a whole series of events, and that brought us to a general meeting in March 2021. The key issues of that were there was an environmental assessment done within Oroville at the request of the TDC. All the stakeholders recommended that we explore that alternate route. That included FAMC, Working Committee, TDC. There was a big meeting at the youth centre. That was for the Bliss and the YC combined. A week later, or I think it was about 3 weeks later, the TDC issues a work order to say we've got to just start clearing the area and laying the cables. So then that's when we entered into a discussion with the Working Committee and the Oroville Council to try and get a RAD process going. At that moment, there were some complications with the process not being in place, so we settled for a GM, and we had the GM. And I think a lot of you here were there, so I don't have to go through that. Next. What was offered in the environmental impact assessment was an alternate route. We've got to remember this was only, the pressure was to get this electricity line linked. We fully understood that. We were fully for that. So we offered a quick solution to do that through the existing road system, and then we had time to develop what we would see together as the Crown through the Bliss and YC area. So it was just, if you remember what I said, purely we were not talking about Crown roads. At that point, the pressure was for the HD cable. Next. Then things started to happen quite fast. In July 29, I think, or the 30th, I can't quite remember the date, but basically I was at home, I got a phone call as a steward, as a concerned person of the Crown. All the stewards got called to a meeting at, I think it was at the Sayer office. There was not just the Bliss area, there was the Bliss, there was Darkali stewards there were stewards of Centrefield houses, and we had a very, very tough meeting. It was very, very difficult. It was very clear that there was a huge push to push a Crown through these areas at a fast and accelerated pace. I think me personally expressed that I was very uncomfortable with this as an individual. This is a community process. I haven't got the ability to discuss one-to-one as a steward. This is a community decision when something so vast is happening. A day or two after that, there was the Crown Road meeting, and then again, the period between August and September, there was a whole series of meetings. But again, it never happened on a community level. If you look out there, there's no meetings of any minutes of any meetings. There's been nothing put out, nothing shared. It all happened, individual negotiations with the TDC, sometimes with the Secretary of the Foundation, and the individual stewards. There was one collective meeting at the youth centre, which was to share the survey results, and then people were starting to do their own individual things because the stewards, especially of the houses, they were under extreme pressure. They had to get things done. So as the YC and the Bliss, we understood things were changing, things were happening, and we had to try and work with this. I mean, it was very intense. So that's when we started to work on alternative solutions beyond what we'd already offered. Paul Blanchefleur from the Botanical Garden got involved, and the Botanical Garden team with the youth centre, the Bliss steward, started working. Certain members of the TDC got involved in that process, and they started to get drawings together and get an alternative solution. On the 25th, that alternative solution of 25th of October, that alternative solution was presented to the planning group, and it was put out on the Oronet forum, got a lot of support, and that's probably, it was presented, and then the planning bodies said they would get back to the stewards and back to Paul, but nothing ever happened until the JCBs were called. Next. Just so you know, we weren't just playing with paper and finding alternatives to block or anything. No, we were really working on a serious proposal. The first thing to do was to survey all the area, buildings and trees with the TDC surveyors and also the botanical garden surveyors of that 30-meter ROW. Next. Parallel to that, an area was cleared to try and understand the area a little bit so that we could get a flow through the area. Next. And finally, a proposal came. It fitted within there was a 3-meter infrastructure corridor, there was a 4.5-meter stroke 3-meter, depending on going around the trees. There was a youth center pavilion in the brown in that side. And basically, it seemed to tick all the boxes. The TDC members that were involved with Paul thought it was good. And everyone seemed to think, well, finally, we found a solution. We moved from putting the line from the outside road all the way in within that circle. And suddenly, the JCBs turned up. And so that's the process. It was suddenly worked on, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, but not even any real discussion happened. Next. Darkali is a slightly different situation because 25 years ago, the Darkali team actually decided, I've got to go fast. Okay. Darkali team, already 25 years ago, marked the crown. They kept a 5-meter wide strip, which was then indicated to them would be what they needed to do. And they marked that, and they didn't develop that land. They developed the land adjacent to it, or whatever, and in their area in the way that they normally would, tree planting and soil and water conservation. What became apparent in the last few years was that alignment wasn't anymore appropriate and that the line had been pulled in. So their process, the crown walk again, then the surveys of the area. The TDC started to offer solutions, and Darkali came up with proposals. The Darkali team came up with a good proposal that fitted in that area that was originally marked and offered that to the TDC for discussion. And again, on the 21st of the 10th in October, there was a meeting with the foundation members, the secretary, and Srinivas Murthy, Ambu, and Toby, and they were explained that this alternative proposal wasn't appropriate and that they were going to have to collaborate with the 16.7-meter clearing. Just so you can see that, next, sorry. Just so you can see, okay, I've said that. Basically, the proposal ticked all the boxes. Again, it was within the 30-meter parameter. It required hardly any destruction compared to the heavy destruction that was going to be caused by the TDC proposal. And the route didn't impact the water conservation work. Next. This is the map of the area, just so you can see. There was a lot of work done to move around the catchment areas to fit it within the 30-meter right-of-way. Next. And just to show you visually, for those who haven't had the chance to go to Darkali, the two on the left-hand corner, the two tapes there, the road goes across that water catchment. It goes through areas of massive trees that have been really looked after and cared for. As you can see in the bottom corner, the mark on the left is the proposal from the Darkali team, which is already cleared, and on the right, a denser area. Next. Another catchment, the road goes over. On the top left is where the Darkali proposal is, and on the left of that is where the TDC, and there's one tree, the Ficus benegalensis, that's going to be lost. All that to say, a lot of process, a lot of work, and zero movement from the TDC. Thank you.
Next slide, please. Hello, everyone. My name is Lakshmi. I am going to recount to you the events from the 4th of December, Saturday. These were difficult experiences for some of us, a lot of us. So I'm sorry if it brings up difficult memories. But there are people in our community who need to hear this. So I'll quickly recount the events from the 4th of December. Next slide. So the morning of the Saturday, where the JCB first came to Bliss. That morning, JCBs arrived with TDC members and the community members who were around, who heard cries and messages from people who were at YC at that time, came there and were able to stop the JCBs and the cutting down of trees. Police were called, and in the end, everyone left, saying that this is a community issue and we need to sort it out internally. From there, the people who had gathered walked or on their bikes moved to Sauchu, where we had a community gathering. Next slide. So it was quite a big gathering. And in that gathering, it was the majority came up with a decision that the community should make these decisions, that the Residents' Assembly should be called forth and moved to make decisions that the community wants to look at. So during that meeting, 4 RADs were called verbally and then later signed in papers. 2 were connected. One was to stay all development on the Crown. The second was RAD on the Crown. These were connected. The third was no confidence in the working committee. And the fourth was no confidence in the TDC. I personally collected the signatures, and there were more than 60 at that time. And I had gone to the RAS to see if I could submit it, and I was suggested that maybe go back to the petitioners with a clear statement and get clear signatures from them. And then that night, after this community meeting and feeling that we were safe in this community, that night, next slide. In the dead of the night, at 1 a.m., I'm shaking as I'm saying this because I was there. At 1 a.m., to a place where young people live, JCBs came with police force and started clearing trees. There were cries, there were audio messages that were sent out. When we as adults tried to go and help them, there were barricades placed, stopping us from entering YC on all the main access roads. So the adults who wanted to go and help the young people who were living in YC had to go through the forest paths to reach there and stop and ask what is happening. When the young people tried to stop the JCBs and ask questions, they were detained. They were put in police cars. Their phones were taken. A couple of the working committee members were able to reach there and bring a stop to what was happening. Once there was some calm and peace, the young people were released from the police vehicles and the JCBs left. By around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, things were back to some sort of a calm. Next slide, please. So the following day, Sunday, in the afternoon at 3 p.m., a few of us gathered in Kalabumi. I can see a lot of faces here who were there also. There were more than 500 people there. People came because they heard what had happened, and it was unbelievable. Can this happen to our community? When I am here, can this happen? But it did. And in that meeting, we listened to both the adults who were there and the young people who were manhandled. We listened. And we unanimously asked for an RAD to stop all development on the Crown until further notice from the RA. We got more than 500 signatures. And this is the reason why we are here. We also signed a statement that said that we do not stand for violence in this community. We are against violence in this community. Next slide, please. So Monday night, after the meeting on Sunday, Monday night, the 24 hours that passed, we did not know what is going to happen next. We were not told, we were not communicated to other JCBs coming. Every time we heard the voice of a JCB, there was thunder in our chest because we did not know what was going to happen. And then, Monday, a proposal was put forth to the youth center and the youth network that if, under a lot of time pressure, that if they would dismantle the buildings themselves, if they would make a compromise, then perhaps they could have the same spot as the YC is now, moving a bit backwards into the Bliss Forest. An emergency meeting was called at YC, which also perhaps maybe 100 people attended. And it was a long meeting that went into maybe midnight that night. And there was an agreement that, yes, the youth would make a compromise if NOCs would be given to the new buildings that were to be built behind the buildings right now in YC. This communication was written down and sent to the TDC. And then the youth, so they were given a time pressure, that if they'd make this decision, 7 o'clock next morning, the JCBs are coming. That was the threat that was given. And so they made that decision at 1 o'clock, maybe midnight to 1 o'clock. They wrote that email, they sent that request for an NOC, and they were waiting. So the next couple of days, they were waiting, and they were trying to see, okay, is this done? Will the JCBs come now? Do we have to dismantle? We have not got the NOC, so how can we trust this? As that was going on, 2 days passed, and on Thursday morning, can you play that, please?
What's your name?
A group of unidentified men came into the youth center. They were aggressive. Some of them were, not all of them. There was a shuffle, not one, many instances of shuffle, because we have not seen this before. We don't know how to react to this. People coming in like this to enforce something that the community wants done. So people were coming in the way and moving out and crying and staying in silence and watching buildings torn down. And we did that. We did that together. We held hands and we cried and we watched in silence, bearing witness to what had happened. So that day, while that was going on, there was a meeting held. Residents shocked, unable to respond, and knowing that they need to do something, walked to the town hall and asked the working committee, what is happening with the emergency RAD? We need an emergency RAD to make a decision as a community. Give us an answer. It was demanded. They said they would give an answer by 1 p.m. that day, and it became back negative, that they could not make a majority vote for an RAD, emergency RAD process. So we began a normal RAD process, of which today's meeting is the first one. So, Thursday morning, the video that you saw.
You are brothers, please don't fight us.
The video that you saw was in YC. And after lunch, the same people with the same JCBs moved to Darkali. They were stopped on the road just in front of Darkali by community members in peaceful protest. They were chanting Om Bhagavate Namah. And they sat in front of the JCBs, and the JCBs stayed. The JCBs stayed for hours, and the people stayed for hours, chanting until their throats were dry. Into the night, people stayed, standing guard. Some people slept that night in front of Darkali. The stewards of Darkali Forest were called by Madam Secretary, and they promised that they would not obstruct if the JCBs were to move and cut down the trees that they have been looking after. And they were told that the next day morning at 6 a.m. that the JCBs would start the work. People were there next day morning in silent protest. The stewards of Darkali Forest at that time had communicated this to everyone, that they would not want to obstruct. But people were still standing in silent witness and showing their protest. Next slide, please. This is just to show where the Darkali proposed Crown Road would go and where the TDC was clearing. It was right next to each other. Here, Natasha will take us through how
in this stretch
close
where you hardly see any trees, this is the proposed route, which still follows the perfect circle. And here, where there's a dense forest, is what is being cleared for the road. So we could actually have a win-win where you have road and forest. But instead, we cut down our forest and leave the cleared part vacant.
Next slide, please. So around 11 o'clock that morning, few of our community members decided to stop the JCBs again out of their own responsibility. And they, in front of that TDF cluster, they sat there so the JCB could not continue the work. And next slide. So around 2 p.m. that day was when the stay order from the court arrived. And when we showed the stay order to the JCB drivers and explained to them and the TDC members who were there that this is a stay order from the court, they left. These events continue. The court hearings are going on. I would like to stop here. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kripa. So I'm actually going to have to read through this paper I wrote because I am asked to stay within 2 minutes. And if I take the time to speak and elaborate the points, I'm obviously going to be more than 2 minutes. So I will just start by saying that we, Aurovilians here, want to very clearly state that there is no questioning about the galaxy model. The galaxy is the model that was given by the mother as a vision for the city that was to become Auroville. There is no questioning about that. There is no questioning about Auroville becoming a city. A city at the service of the truth. A city that will host human unity. A tool to develop our consciousness. And there is no questioning about the value of the master plan. Now, there is a questioning on the how, on the methods chosen to go ahead with the marking and the clearing of the Crown Road. There was no work order, there's no detailed development plan, there's no communication and dialogue. Instead, there was heavy machinery, police, paid hand force, blocking of community expression and internal process, and blocking of the voice of the Residents' Assembly. We would like to acknowledge that the recent events have been a huge wake-up call and an impulse to move forward. While we entirely disagree on the method used, we are together today to look on how to move and keep developing Oroville according to Mother's plan. Understanding that Oroville is not just another city to be built with buildings and machines, but Oroville is to be the cradle for a new consciousness, a new way of doing things. We are here for integral yoga. Let's build the city in an integral way. And we need time for this. And this is why, on the afternoon of the 5th of December, not any date, 2020, after the night when bulldozers came in at 1 a.m. to cut their way through, that same afternoon, many people got together and requested for a residents' assembly. It's for us to meet and talk and see how we move forward with this, not this way. The way we want it to be is that it's a movement from within, not from within. And from within, the movement will have an external manifestation, not an top to bottom imposition. That is not the language that can be spoken in this community. That's so I will just, the movement, and this was written in the statement of the members of the International Advisory Council. In Mother's own saying, the manner in which Oroville is built is as important, possibly more than the outcome. It's not when Oroville has been completed. It's the nation's collaboration in creating something that matters. But creating something founded on the truth instead of a rivalry and falsehoods creation. Mother India has recognized the greatness of this project and has welcomed its manifestation on its land here in Tamil Nadu. We have a constitution described in the Oroville Foundation Act, an act of parliament passed in 1988. We feel deep gratitude to be allowed to experiment on this land. And there is no doubt on that. What we are requesting at this point is that the ground realities are taken into account while moving forward. That there is a dialogue and trust. We're much more powerful in our capacity to manifest if we're together, and if we're fueled by dialogue and trust. Once this part is done, then the different professionals and actors, workers can move ahead in the building of the city. We need to see what is bridging the concept of the galaxy plan and the physical manifestation, and agree on a detailed development plan before we start bulldozing. We need to be informed and consulted on decisions concerning land use, mobility plan, construction methods, acquiring of the missing land, taking into consideration the water bodies and the natural geological reality of our plateau and its bioregion. In short, I'm finishing. We believe it's high time for the community to take a break and work on this development plan within a reasonable time frame. We see the Crown as an opportunity to create unity. If people come together to discuss and agree how best it can be built, but not when it is unilaterally imposed. Also, we believe this would be the best way to bring back some rational and some peace in the present debate, and a way to find a third position where we could work to build the unity and brotherhood we all aspire to live. We need to remember we're in Oroville for unity and diversity, for human unity, peace and harmony, for a society that supports and fosters growth of consciousness for all.
Thank you.
Okay, so having heard that, we are going to hear now from the no perspective. So, and TDC, I've heard that also ATDC came up with, they want to present, yeah? Can you please say? Oh no, if it's to say that, I said it. Okay, so shall we start with that? Or Selvaraj, you want, because there will be, I'm not sure there will be actually a sharing of the room. We'll see. No, not now, for sure. Now it's the presentation on the no perspective. Yeah, that's okay, Selvaraj? We'll see. We had a shared space. We have a, yes, we will have a short time. If.
Good evening, I'm Vidya from ATDC. We are not going to go into this presentation in detail because what is there is something which you have all grown up with. I'm quite new to this, so I don't want to again say something which you all know, which you have all lived through, so I'll keep it there. I'll straight away address some of the points which you raised, which the previous presenters raised. One is, how are we going to do this? Is Omar or David in the hall? Yes. Yeah. You can ask him how much we have, especially Srivatsan from ATDC and Madam Secretary have been collaborating with him and Mr. David on reaching out to the community, getting their inputs to work together, especially on the Crown. This has been going on for 2 months since. I don't know how much has this information been shared out. TDC is just playing an intermediary role. I mean, it's just we hold the platform, that's all. We only give the bare minimum brief, and the entire design process, how we want the Crown to be, has been envisaged by this group of architects. They are reaching out to the royal architects and through those architects to the community. This is one thing. Second thing, we are almost every day in touch with, when I say we, it's TDC and also the foundation office, we are in touch with Doshi's office. They are going to do the detailed development plan, and we are giving all possible support for them, to them to do this. This is second thing. Third, the master plan itself, since this is a special project, this master plan is also very special. It is just not the master plan of any other town or city that people newly build. This master plan also has, to some extent, a detailed development plan. It has a 5-year plan in it. It has gone to the extent of identifying the projects in the next 5 years, which never happened, unfortunately, and also the budget for those projects in those years. So it has a development plan in it, embedded. Another point is to do, especially we have a template already, we have the concept of a galaxy, and all these roads are going to be a footprint for it. To do that, we don't need a master plan, we don't need a detailed development plan. We need, please let me finish. We need a detailed development plan to, you can ask your own favorite architects. We need a detailed development plan to envisage the buildings, the infrastructure, the development that is going to come along these roads. For that, definitely we need the DDP. We also need the DDP that for the minor roads that would connect all these development. We cannot do all those things. We cannot go down to that extent without a DDP. But for these main roads, the inner ring road, that is the crown, the radials and the outer ring road, master plan is more than sufficient. This is not that we say any architect, any town planner would agree to this. This is not the special stand of this TDC or any TDC here. And another point is, last point, to emphasize what Kripa said. We did not start from a clean slate. We were not handed a clean slate, given a barren land to start the way we wanted. The mother wanted how it has to be, what has to be there, where it has to be. She was quite meticulous about it. We can all find quotes. This group can find a quote that will suit us, and you can find another quote that will suit you. We can go on like this, but she wanted the city. Nobody can debate that. She also was very specific about how she wanted it. So it has to come with from the space of acceptance and surrender, not about intellectual debate. No. Thank you very much.
Eliza? Shall we share it now? 1 second. May I have your attention, please? Excuse me? Just one piece of information that the RS would like to share with you for the sake of transparency.
Yeah, we also received an email regarding to the petition that has come to the RAS and the RA meeting that we have here. We also received more than 100 people signing on a petition, or whatever we may want to call it, informing the RAS that they're not up for this RAD and they want the crown development to also happen, and they do not support this RAD, and the crown development and the city building should happen as well. So the RAS has received this petition, and we have requested these petitioners or their representatives to come and attend this meeting to share their point of view, and I believe some of you over here will take care of that. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to speak in Tamil because I do see there are a lot of bioregion Tamil Orwellians. Sorry for not speaking English, because I need to also tell them what is really happening, and I can definitely transfer in English also what I'm talking about. Yeah? There are two things. One is that when we are talking about the master plan, it's not new to anybody. We all knew that it has been approved in 2001, which has been did and passed in RAD in 1999. And it took almost 10 years to get gazetted in 2011. And after that, In 2011, imagine, now we are talking about another 10 years. There are important things which we need to understand in the master plan. There are key elements, which means that we are talking about Mathur area and Crown and line of force and outer ring road. This is the key element of the master plan. There is no negotiation for such implementation. If there is, the community process where we needed is to give your suggestion for the DDP. You can give your suggestion on detailed development plan, how it should be and what is the community need. But for the key element, it is not, there is no negotiation at all. Let's say for like Mathur Mandir. நான் உங்ககிட்ட என்ன சொல்கிறேன்னா தமிழில் இப்போ நான் சொன்னதான் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் இங்கே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு எல்லாருமே புரியும் 2001 2011 கெசட் ஆகுது இந்தியன் பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் ஹெச்ஆர்டி மினிஸ்ட்ரி கீழே அது அப்ரூவ்ட் ஆகி இன்றைக்கி 2021 நம்ம இதே கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கிட்ட கொஸ்டின் பண்ணுறது இல்லாத அப்பீல் பண்ணுறோம். என்னென்ன அப்பீல் பண்ணுறோம், எங்களுக்கு இந்த மாஸ்டர் பிளானில் இந்த ரோடு இப்படி வேணாம், இந்த மரத்தை வெட்டுறாங்க அப்படி இப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. மரத்தை யார் வச்சுது, எதுக்காக வச்சிங்க, எதுக்கு இந்த லேண்டு யார் கொடுத்தாங்க, இங்கே இருக்கிற லோக்கல் தமிழ் மக்கள். அந்த தமிழ் மக்கள் எதுக்காக கொடுக்குறாங்க, அன்னையோட கனவு நகரம் உருவாகணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. இப்போ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுறோம், மரத்தை வளர்த்துட்டு அந்த இடத்துல அந்த ரோடு வரக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்கிறோம். ஓகே, ஐம் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் தி செகண்ட் ஒன். ஐ எம் நாட் ப்ரிப்பேர்ட் டு யா Wait a minute. I'm coming to that. And I'm coming to that. Please wait. I'm coming to that. Please wait. I said I will translate it in English also. I said okay. Please wait. Yes. Yeah. And the second one is that. Excuse me. Hello. Huh? Can you please? The second one, when Glenn was presenting, it was not definitely true at all. There was a 52 meeting took place from the day we started the crown walk. 52 meetings with the TDC and with the concerned people, with Darkali, with the YC, with Aradam. Please. Okay. And we had individual meeting, almost 6-7 meetings with the concerned people, Darkali, YC and Aradam. Please. And they gave alternate route. Definitely yes. We told them, we'll take back to our table, we will discuss it because we need to know the ground reality. Of course, we have done the site survey. Imagine, if I see the slide of Darkali, I'm sure it is 60 plus acres. And a family holding this for more than 35 years. Okay. It is in the city area. And there is a canyon. There is a canyon which is crossing the community where they are depthening it for 3.5 meter depthening. And instead of making water catchment, you can continue making it in the canyon area. But it is, I would say that it is my perception, it is made purposefully where the crown road is going to be. Definitely another one. I'm so sorry, please. There is another one. Again, along where the road is going to move, there are 6 banyan tree which has been planted. It is not by nature. What are you talking about nature here? That's the one. When I'm talking about youth center and please. Sorry.
Ambu.
Please, when you're talking about youth center, we had a good interaction and we did a survey. Of course, they asked me to give back the survey to them to have an update. When I gave... Hello. Sorry. So actually in a youth center we had another meeting. Several meetings took place where Secretary Ma'am also joined and you all joined already. The thing is, what we asked them to come up with the plan, definitely the alternate plan, based on what is the ground reality. Of course, they also given a alternate plan where poll has made. the poll has made, definitely we also told that we will come back. When we gone through this, again we did a survey, almost 317 trees has been added by poll, or more than, top of my survey. When I gone through this, it is the dia of 2 centimeter, 5 centimeter, less than 10 centimeter. But in the drawing you can see it is completely dense, it look like, because this is a ground reality. And of course, we said that we will give a alternate place. We asked them to come with the vision of their project, because they want to do vocational training center there. Of course, we asked them, as in a community process, we are very famous on community process. We asked them, can you please give your vision? What is the purpose of the youth center? Please give us. And also, last week we worked up fully to give the new location also. This happened. And we had several meetings with Auradam area also, with Mita and Tapas. Definitely thank you for their effort that they have supported in a different way. Definitely thank you so much. And we still now we are interacting with Auradam and Centerfield area. So this is a fact. I'm sorry I'm not prepared to do many things, but definitely, you see, the thing is, we are talking about, we are very proud Auroville has to grow organically. Yes, 53 year. 53 year. And we are proud to question the people, how about the remaining land? We don't need to question, it's our response to buy. Okay, today the land has been purchased. It's not by Aurovillian. It's all by devotees, the devotees of Sri Aurobindo and Mother. Okay. So this is most important actually. Did we find any budget within ourselves to purchase the land? Yes. Yeah. If it is, yeah. If it is, okay. Thank you, Rakal. Thank you, Rakal. No, I'm not lying, but you tell me, because these are the data which is more needed, and also we need to purchase more than 100 acres, more than 150 acres remaining in the city area. The thing is, why are we purchasing the land? For what? To create a forest? Are we buying land to create a forest?
No, I'm sorry, we're entering into...
I'm here to ask you. Can you please answer me?
This is...
Okay. There are things which we need to also realize. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, there is Omar. What is that? It's not working? Oh, sorry, it's working. I'm sorry. There is someone before you. There is someone. And who is?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me outside? Can you hear me outside? Yes. Okay, this is the second time in my life that I had to speak in the General Assembly. Each time my name gets mentioned in a way that I feel not very accurate, and I had no choice but to come and correct. So, because I am Omar, and it has to be clear that there is an initiative. I think already few of you know about it. Who knows about it? Yes, okay. So there is an initiative to bridge, because our understanding is that there is always symptoms and there is always origin of the problem. And if you think about it, you would find that we do need a planning, collaborative process that includes professionals, different people, external professionals, to create a DDP. Once this is there, everything can move. So when we saw all of these symptoms and we felt that there is a possibility, we emphasize this as independent group of professionals in Auroville, working independently from any institution or any group, but collaborating with everyone. So this is very clear. And I have to ask you, in the meeting with the secretary, and you were there, didn't we say we are independent or not? We are working as independent group of architects or not? Yes or no? Yes. Dr. Ravi, did we say that or not? Yes. No. I did ask Dr. Ravi, she should answer. I'm sorry.
Omar, can you? No,
It
just
was my
Omar.
mistake to ask.
Yeah.
But I feel if I ask Dr. Ravi a question, she should answer.
Just a short answer, is possible?
It has to be understood that there is a difference between collaboration and being part of a side. Because being part of a side means that we cannot bridge. Wanting to bridge meaning that we are taking a central position and we are meeting everyone. And this, we have said this and we will continue saying this, and we have met groups and we will be meeting other groups through this week. And next Monday at 4 p.m. we will come to the whole community and present the whole process and see how you feel about it. So it is not, I am not saying we are not collaborating, we are collaborating with everyone. I am only emphasizing our independence because I came to India as only a member of the Oroville Residents Assembly. This is the only position I have here. Yeah, thank you.
Who is this person? You had a question. Yeah. But are you from the community? Are you from the community? I don't know you, sorry. You're Mutu advocate. Ah. Okay. Sorry?
The question time will come soon, so just wait.
Yeah, but
I think Tuan is presenting from the ATDC's point
No,
of
I'm
view.
not from the ATDC. I just want to rectify a few factual...
Silence, please.
I want to rectify a few factual errors which have been stated in some of the presentations, because we all want to know the real facts, right? So when the presentation was made about the Oroville Foundation Act, which was one of the first, it was said that the governing board has to work in collaboration with the RA. That is correct. But what was not said, and I would request you to read the Act. How many of you have read the Act, actually? Okay, so if you read the Act, then you also will read that the master plan is formulated by the RA for the approval by the GB. Read that. Then you please read, I'm not saying whether I'm in favor of it or not, I'm just saying what is written there. Then there is section 17E of the Act, which says very clearly that the governing board shall ensure that Oroville is developed as per the approved master plan. They shall ensure. These are simple facts. The second mistake which was made in the presentation, it was said the International Advisory Council advises the GB and the RA. No, the International Advisory Council only advises the GB. Please read the Act on that paragraph as well. Now the big confusion about, shall I read it out from the Act? Okay, so read it yourself. The other one is about the famous story about the detailed development plans. It is true that the master plan speaks about detailed development plans. But the development of the first 5 years is in the master plan itself. And there is an item in the master plan itself on page 81, which talks about the Crown Road and the outer ring with a budget of 1.6 crore in the year 2001. It is part of that plan itself. Now, why was that done? Probably that the people who finalized this plan, they must have thought, look, if we say that everything, even the first 5 years, has to be first weight for a DDP, nothing would have happened. So they included the first 5 years in the master plan itself. If you have any doubt, it is right laying here, and it is an item on page number 81, Crown and Outer Ring, 1.6 crore, and security lighting, 0.75. It is in the plan itself. So the Crown is a master plan road. It is not a detailed road. The detailed roads come indeed inside the sectors, inside the zones. There will be all sorts of paths and meandering roads inside the zones and sectors. Now, another question I want to ask you. If you are now so keen, which is a good thing to do, to have DDPs, this plan was made in 2001. What prevented us in the last 20 years to prepare DDPs? No. No, this is a very dishonest answer, because if there was one person who pressed for DDPs, I have proof of that was me, Dr. Doshi made a quotation, an offer in 2016, where he offered to Auroville to prepare the detailed development plan for the whole of Auroville. He was going to have one team working in Ahmedabad. He was going to have one team working in Auroville, in the TDC office, Lavani office. He even gave a quotation for it, how much it would cost, who would come, how long it would take, and it was rejected by Auroville. We said we will do it ourselves. And now, 8 years later, we haven't even a draft of a DDP. So let us become a little bit more honest. We always start talking about DDPs when an action starts in the field. So if we are honest about DDPs, why haven't they been prepared all these years? What is the problem? So my point, I'm setting right some facts. And the fact of the matter is that the governing board of the past, not this governing board, has in 6 meetings, I can show you the minutes, asked the TDC to prepare the DDPs. In 1 year, it was in the month of July, sorry, can you just hang on for a minute? There was a meeting in the month of April, sorry, not July, where the governing board again asked the TDC, and the TDC who was present said, we will give you in September of this year. That was in 2016, I believe. So the point is, we have been promising, we have been announcing, Dr. Doshi was willing to do it, and then we all go back to sleep, and then some action starts in the field, oh, DDP, DDP, DDP. This is not honest. It's not just simply not honest. We lack a collective honesty. When we are honest, no, you can woo like you want, but it's a fact. We have promised to make a DDP. We have, with this booklet, we have collected crores of rupees for land and infrastructure and buildings, with this booklet. I was in Dr. Karan Singh's office in 2002 with a donor who was specially brought there to meet Dr. Karan Singh. Mr. Ramaswamy, the secretary, had also flown down. And he was given by Dr. Karan Singh himself this book with a request, can you support us with implementing this? He committed on the spot for 3 crores for land. And that was money of 2002. That will be worth about 20 crores today with the inflation. So we have been telling people, give us funds to implement this. Hundreds of letters have gone to the Tamil Nadu government from the community. Protect the master plan. Protect the master plan. Give us an NDTA. Give us some mechanism. And now we are saying, no, the master plan has to be relooked, and we are not clear about it. Can you believe what an outsider will think about us when they look at this? Promising, announcing, collecting funds, buying land. We have in Auroville, on the land which was meant to be for the township, we have developed family estates. Family estates. A house for the parents, 2-3 houses for the children, a garage, a swimming pool. We have developed those type of estates. Is that the way that mother said? When the quotation of the mother was given just a little while ago, that it is important the way we develop. Is this the way we develop? That we collect funds, we buy lands, and we develop, and we put family estates there? Is it? No, hang on. No, hang on. I'm almost done. I'm done. I can go on for another half an hour like this, which I won't do, but I think we need a bit of introspection of what we have promised and announced and what we are actually doing. Just think about it. Thank you.
Okay. So we are going to open, for the intention was basically to have a sharing now in the room that we come more as a circle, and then you can share and everyone can share. Selvaraj, Mita, you can share in this sharing of the room. So just let's come a bit closer from both ends, is possible? Yeah, what happens?
I can suggest
okay.
this mic.
So yeah, I'm taking names for the open floor. Is that what we're doing now?
We wanted to break some patterns somehow and not take names and to invite people to talk from their essence. No, but actually we are going to take names. Right now I don't feel like breaking patterns.
So, shall I?
Yeah, sorry. No, there was Mutu. Yes, there was Mutu. But can we come to a...
Wait a second.
Can we? Okay, no, yes, whatever. Yes. Yes.
Good evening, everybody. I am Muthu. Many of you might not heard me. But my only question and doubts, what was the urge for the ATDC to get into a community at night 1 a.m.? Are we building a road to a military cantonment, or are we building a road for a city which was envisaged by the mother? Is there anybody who can answer this from the ATDC? TDC? What was the urge? A plan was proposed and it was gazetted in 1999, 2001, and it has been pending since last 20 years, 2 decades. I mean, what is the urge that you put in 3 JCBs in night and approve the trees? Is there no way out? I mean, the incident caused a stain on Oroville. I mean, there are a lot of juveniles who have been harmed, a lot of women who have been harassed, violence. I mean, is this what we call unity? And please, I'm not here for applause. I'm a simple man, I don't want this, sorry. And an outsider coming from 10 kilometers and hitting our brothers and sisters and pulling. I mean, what is this? Are you not ashamed of? Are we not brothers? Are we not seeing one another for the last 30 years? Is it not a shame? Is it not a shame? And you play part of it and you invite outsiders to hit our own brothers and sisters, and someone who questions and you're slapping him on his face. Is it not a shame on you? I was witnessing it. I don't need to be physically present. I have my work. I'm not a wrestler. I'm an advocate practicing from lower court to the high court. I'm not a wrestler like few of you who are engaged in inviting rowdies and gundas. Sorry. Okay. And my humble request to the Madam Secretary is, though there might be division now or in the near future, it is the lawful duty of the Madam Secretary to see them all in both eyes. And she must take a lenient views and she must try to settle the issues within the community. And there must never ever been any chance given to outsiders to come into and to be rude with our brothers and sisters. Thank you. And my prayer.
I have the names, yeah. So look, I have taken names. I'm just gonna, I know everybody wants to speak, and I request all those speakers to come to the stage and do it, because this meeting is being live streamed as well, and that the rest of the community could see your face as well. So as far as the names are concerned, I have now Selvaraj, Meeta, Shankar.
Tapas is here also.
Sumit.
She was here.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
it has to go through the order.
We cannot, we need also 15 minutes of ending.
One moment.
We won't be able, I'm just saying we won't be able to hear everyone.
So,
if we have to close at 6:30.
So what is that you're suggesting, Elisa?
That we have 10-15 minutes.
Yeah.
We have 15 minutes more of discussion.
Okay.
But so basically, please everyone, bring your point in essence again. And yes, and please, yeah. So for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we continue.
Yeah.
And then we will need to go to a closing.
Selvaraj, நீங்க போய் பேசுறீங்களா? Who else? Tapas is there as well, right? Yeah, Tapas. Okay. And then
What, Reno?
Induja.
I can't hear you. Huh?
Yeah,
Hello?
I got it.
Hello?
We can hear you.
Hello? Can you hear? Okay. What I'd like to say, we have a good moment Now, for the first time in Oroville, we have been receiving about 10 to 15 crores for the, for the projects of Oroville. We hardly have got any money from the Western countries, from any pocket from here and there. People who are from outside, who have some money, they use it for their own personal thing, but not for the common pot. Hardly anything is there. Yes, this is fact. Yes. What I want to say.
Can we?
Look, Vani, I can say something on that. Can I say something? Can you allow me to talk?
Yes, but please.
Can you allow me to talk?
We are still. Sevach, sorry.
Can you allow me to talk?
Yes.
I don't want this kind of an interruption.
Well,
no.
That's
then
part of
then
where we
there's
are
enough
at.
people here will
That's
shout.
where we are
They will
at.
be in a mess.
So at the moment, but for now,
I'm
please
telling you
offer
something.
your point of view.
I'm trying to tell you my point of view. Just calm down.
Sevach, please.
Yes.
I'm trying to offer quality of space for you to speak.
No, but here, what is that?
It's not about them. It's
No.
also about you.
Okay.
It's
Anyway,
about
look.
us.
What I want to say. The last 10 years, we have been buying lands in the green belt. Hardly anything in the city area. Okay? So our green belt is growing. Now the Crown Road, the people who have planted trees on the Crown Road, they're planted on the city Crown Road. Okay? So let's not make a fuss. It's about 5 to 10 acres which has been removed for building of the city the mother dreamt. And all along my life, I've been hearing the city. Where's the city? Please, with the secretary being there now, I believe there's going to be money for the infrastructure. There's going to be money for the infrastructure. What are you saying? Yeah, Kripa, you spoke for 2 minutes. Okay. So I'm just saying. But that was actually 10 minutes.
Please, Selvage.
I counted that.
And finish.
Now look, what I would like to say here, for once, there's some money coming for the infrastructure. Let's do all Om. Yes. There's for the first time money coming for the infrastructure. Let us be grateful and collaborate and work towards that. Yes, collaborate. With this way, we are never going to achieve any city. There's only blocking. This morning I asked Ponusami, he had got the cable 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the cable is lying on the Crown Road. And we haven't been able to solve within ourselves, figuring out what to do with this. And now we are saying the secretary is there, she's pushing, and without any process. Come on, there's been hundreds of processes. Let's not delay this. One more thing I want to say.
No, Selvaraj, I'm sorry, your time is up. And we
another
look
thing
at
that I
all
wanna
the
say.
people we have. Selvaraj.
Look, other people have been given 2
Look
minutes.
at all the people who wants
Can
to
I
talk.
just say one second something?
It's just time. It's
Look,
just time.
You think by dragging on, Oroville will be given the opportunity all along to dream about its city? No way. If there's no strong action done, strong movement now done, within next year, not 10 years more, we will have whole big private people building over the so-called Oroville city area. So then we will not just have the Oroville city, all the green effects that we are having in the area will also be destroyed. Thank you.
Thank you, friends. And just a very kind request to please follow the suggested time frame for your questions. And please remember, today it's not the last meeting, it's just the first one, Residents' Assembly meeting. So you will have this opportunity to share your feedback, right into the RS, for example. And yes, the second RAM will also happen.
Thank you, thank you. And yes, Lily, sorry, Lily is making a gong. So please, at the moment you hear the gong, please conclude what you are saying. And we won't go through the whole list, I guess, but we'll see.
Yeah, they're here.
Okay.
It's 2 minutes each, sorry.
Okay, I just want to respond to what Tuan said about the 1.6 crore and the 5 years being in the master plan. I was present in the meeting of 1999 when we approved the master plan that was presented. It was for land protection. It was because Saratas had bought that land and we got really worried. And it was a huge meeting. I remember it like it was yesterday. There were 1 or 2 dissenting voices, but we all agreed to the master plan for a reason. It was land protection, right? And then, sorry? You were not there, Devasmita, in that meeting. You guys were not even there. Let me wait.
It's minuted also.
Let me say what I have to say. It was for land protection, all right? And then when it went to Delhi, there were changes that were made. There were a whole bunch of changes that were actually put in. The addition of radials that was not agreed. We did not agree to the addition of all those radials. That's one point. It never came.
Okay.
They were not discussed in this way, Tuan, in that meeting. I'm sorry, there were things that were done by the professionals. Now that's my first point.
Guys.
There were things that were added which we did not agree. That's all I'm saying. There were things that were added which we did not agree. Okay, 1. 2, we have a division in the community. Yes or no? Do we want to do something about this division? Do we want to get over this division? Do we want to get over, hello Balu? Do we want to get over this division, or we say no? Okay, boom, put it, squelch everything, squelch the opposition, it doesn't matter, we're going to build the city. Is that what some people are saying? Come on, guys, we have to find the way to agree on the plans, on the details. And just 1 minute. And if there is a movement to bring people together in terms of the plan through the professionals working together, please give that the chance. Let us come together through the professions, let them then present to the community, and if we can choose something that we can all agree, that's what Mother wanted us to do.
Shall we ask until 7?
Vanakkam, my name is Shankar. I would not take more than 2 minutes. One thing, when I was 12 years old, I'm 55. When I was 12 years old, we had just one meeting in our Mariam temple in Kuilapalayam. We had one meeting and we made 1.7 kilometer road overnight between Kuilapalayam and Perimala Chavdi. That's what it took overnight, one night, 1.7 kilometer road between Kuilapalayam and Perimala Chavdi. That's what needed. See, is that a barbaric community? No. They are illiterate villagers. Yes, they made the road and we are all using the road. They were that quick while they were making the decision. When they were doing the same thing here in between Edenjavadi and the main road, it was so quick, in no time they could make. Look, please, when we start a project, that project we are so happy to stop and we don't want to act. I'm sorry, I don't want to act. I'm so lethargic, and when someone who pays money, I mean the government, when it comes there and say, what happened to all our money? We made 3 times street lights, a street light with batteries and everything. We made another street light. Now 3rd type of street lights, but where is the street? Where is the ring road? But we made the ring road, we made the lights. We spent government money. Yeah, but there is no street. And I am 55, and my children have no college here. And for all our big problem, physical problem, we are running outside. For our physical problems, we don't have a good hospital. When are we going to make all these things? After 30 years, sorry, let's act fast. If we are slow and sleepy, yes, there will be some external force. Let's accept the external force and make use of it and finish it immediately as soon as possible. We can't wait. We need the road. Thank you.
Let's keep only one speaker at a time. Shankar, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we can give it. Let it go.
Let's listen.
I wish we can listen. No matter where we are, this is what is missing in us.
Sitting there, I didn't notice.
It's the largest number of gathering community has it. Can we just go together and take advantage of this gathering and move forward in collaboration? Can we do that? Or are we going to fight forever? Choice is ours. It's the largest gathering, and many of us, we just keep fighting, and we can continue for another 20 years. But choice is, can we make this collaborative today? And when we are talking about managing conversation, we are very good in that. We have done it for 50 years. We can manage conversation for another 50 years. Let's manage time and conversation together. Can we do that? I'm done.
I'm sorry, I can't stand. Please forgive me, I'm not feeling well. But yeah, like Shankar said, I was here on the first day. I was 16-year-old and part of the inauguration ceremony at the amphitheater in Matra Mandir. I said, this is my place that day, and I'm still here from that day, with an absence of 10 years for my higher education. I want this community to grow. If we are ready, there is a little bit of history background which I am again going to repeat. There is the whole history of Orwell. We grew up on our own before the Foundation Act came into place and after the Foundation Act. Before the Foundation Act, we were depending on a body called Sri Aurobindo Society. We fought with them for the right reason or wrong reason. We had our independence. We fought the case up to the Supreme Court. We won. And today we have the Foundation Act. Since we have the Foundation Act, the community has developed. It would not have developed. Please be grateful. It's because we have this framework, we have a recognition in the world. We can go to fundraising, we have an identity. We didn't have any identity to do any fundraising. We tried to go to Delhi before the Foundation Act came to any place, and they said, who are you? How can we listen to you? You don't have any legal status. So today we have a legal status since, correct me if I'm wrong, since 1988. And please, we have invited the foundation. It is not they have imposed themselves. Please remember, our internal history was the fight with the Sri Aurobindo Society. Today we have invited the government. They are giving us the framework. They are allowing us to grow. We have the freedom to experiment. Please respect, please be respectful, and honor, and be human. The local population is part of the human unity, not just us. It is not only our duty to do our human unity experiment. The local population, the regional, the national, and the world, they are all human beings. Please respect, please. Secretary, I'm very sorry on behalf of the community, the way we have behaved today. I'm sorry.
No, I think
I'm sorry.
you can talk for yourself.
I feel really bad. This is not the way to behave.
Yeah.
India is the host, please.
Yes.
The motherland is the host. Which country, tell me which country will host this project? Which country will hold this project for the whole planet? India. Please.
So it's, once again, because it's already 6:25, no? Can we agree to How many people left?
I still have Sumit, Yona,
How
and
much? How many?
number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, can we agree to stay until 6:50? Maximum 7? No, maximum 7. Is it okay for everyone? Okay, so please.
Hi.
We keep the
Hi.
same time. 2 minutes.
I actually have a request for information from the foundation office and the secretary, and I'm happy we have time. I have a request for information because I have been following events and there are some things that puzzle me. One thing that puzzles me is that everyone is saying it's the foundation acting, secretary acting, but I see TDC people also involved, working committee members also involved in these actions we spoke about from the 4th till the 10th and continuing. So I just have a question. Like, I would like to know the chain of command that initiated these events, who gave instructions where. Most of us seem to agree it's not gone well. It could have been better. Most of us agree. So, I was a surgeon and we always had a post-mortem. And the post-mortem is meant to help us move forward better for the next patient. So, I would really like to know, if possible, if a forum can be given for those who acted to present the chain of command, maybe confusion that led to first the morning of the 4th, the night of the 4th has been explained, supposedly to avoid people getting hurt. But then so fast after, I think it was on the 5th, this movement where outside people were involved, the police were not invited anymore, there are people, no prior information, and also the fact that TDC wrote to youth center saying they would start next week. Why did they come on Saturday? And why? So I would like to know first how it happened so we see where things go wrong so we can work better together. Secondly, I would like to ask those who acted whether they feel any regret over the way things were done. I don't think anyone is happy. So that's my first. Sorry, please. I have only 1 more minute. So it puzzles me, and I think this knowledge would help me decide. Second, I have a problem about constitution. As per the Foundation Act, the governing board is meant to ensure Auroville develops according to the charter. Hold on, people, so give me a moment. It's a request for information. Okay, I'm not making any statement. I'm just asking something. So as per that, and there are the meetings of the governing board, I believe sometime in November, saying that they have given instructions to develop the township, remove all deviations from the circular path of the Crown Road, etc. And it seems a lot of these events happened with that mandate through the chain of command, which is not yet clear to me. Through human actors who have maybe made mistakes and maybe they did what they wanted to do. So I would just like that. I want to know if the Residents' Assembly passes this resolution by even 90-95%, where does it stand constitutionally? Residents' Assembly say, stop all development till we say yes. Till we say yes when? In 5 years, 10 years, it's not built into the resolution, which is why I personally would find it very hard to say, yes, we need to give a time limit. But even if we gave a time limit or not, and we passed it, what is the constitutional validity of this? Could we hear on this in the next one? Are we just going for a deadlock and opposition, or are we resolving something? Thank you.
Please, yeah, thank you.
So, when I started getting involved in Auroville working groups and so forth, within 2-3 weeks, it was the divide between one side that wanted one group running the Matrimandir and another side wanting another group running the Matrimandir. And I was 20 years old, and I remember this was a very divisive experience to go through. Now I understand that, I know that a lot of people from all different points of view have gone through something very traumatic and have different experiences. What I ask myself and all of us here is, I have no doubt that everybody is here for the manifestation of Mother's Auroville, from people on other sides. So if we understand this and we can accept this, can we say, okay, let's just put the past behind. We'll have a time to look at it. We'll have a time to look at why it's taken us 20 years to come up with a DDP or this. And let's all try and move forward. Let us try to get something positive out of this experience so that as a community, we manifest something. Not that again we get deadlocked into polarities of one side shouting, the other side shouting. I'm as guilty of shouting. But if we can all try and silence ourselves and find somewhere inside us that direction and listen to those who have more experience about those things from all different sides. Thank you.
Okay, let's everyone, hello. And we won't have the time to redefine because yes, stopping the work until further notice, further notice needs some more detail, and we wanted to harvest where people are at in terms of until when it shall stop. We won't go there. We will go there another time. We will just take the pulse at the end of the after hearing you guys. We will just take a pause. Thank you. Just to clear out the agenda, the change of it.
Hello, my name is Induja. I'm relatively a very new Aurovilian, and my question, and I would like to tell that I've been consciously taking a stand to, like I share what Omar said, to be independent and not take any side in this because that is not what I committed for when I committed for. But my question now, what has been spoken here about the planning, nothing about other things also I have, but I do not want to express that, but about planning, which made me come here, which would not happen otherwise, is the question is to Vidya, which will extend to Anbu. So when you said for doing a road, you don't need a detailed development plan. I don't know, as an architect, I am trying to only understand how a road will be excluded from a detailed development plan, and I am not able to conceive that. Maybe I'm missing a layman's point of view, which I should take into consideration for future. And the question extends to Anbu, who has been working on GIS for about 30 years in Lavinir. He has been doing all the. No, I can finish and then you can take it. Yeah.
Vidya, could you please come to the stage, if you want to answer.
Having worked about 30 years on GIS on various layers that we use for town planning, Anbu knows better that till about 2020 March or April, when we started an exercise of compiling 26 to 30 different layers that can be used for town planning. Out of that, the main elements which are coming from the Galaxy model, we had 2 different versions of the Galaxy plan, which was rotated like this, like that. He can't deny that because we have had discussions over the text. Okay, I don't need interruption while I'm talking. Okay, yes, I can lie. People can find out. So we have had discussions. The minutes of the meeting are there in the TDC drive, mapping drive. If anybody wants to access, you can access and see. We have had discussions sitting on the table to whom to contact, who was there at that time when this road was finalized, which is the final version. We have had 4 different versions and one was finally finalized with different meetings and going into the archives and digging out things. So my worry is we are going to build a road. Yes, nobody is against that. But I don't know if, I can't say that, but I don't know if this is the people that we are really putting in the front line, representing the community to do this. Because I've been there. I've been there. I've worked with the data. I've cleaned up the data. I myself have cleaned up the data. I've cleaned. Okay, Devasmita, we have not had a dialogue. Okay, I'm not coming into that debate, but being, and also, if there is no, so you are saying, okay, we are going to build a road, but without presenting a basic plan to the community, except please let's come out of the 16 point, that is all there, okay, that is given. But we are not seeing any visual plan. Please. As a lay person, there is nobody able to conceive what is going to come. And it is everybody's right in this community. It's not about the Kuilapalem to Edanchavdi road that nobody knows what is going to come around. This is a people. Thanks, Induja. This is a community where individuals are committed to be conscious individuals.
Thanks, Induja. Can you answer briefly? Yeah.
Sindhuja or Induja? Induja. Thank you.
Look,
it's just an answer.
Yes,
short
Induja,
answer.
Induja has asked a question, and excuse
it is
me.
an answer from TDC. It will take, please, very short.
The master
Yes.
plan, it's called as a master plan because it's called as a master plan because it has a futuristic vision. We just don't draw drawings just like that. I'm surprised that you asked this question being an architect. Ridiculous question, really. You draw a line without even having a plan about how it is going to go, where it is going to go.
So we won't have clarity fully. So it's really opinion against opinion. So I'm wondering how we can build up. Who is the next? Who is the next, please?
Orsogan, yeah.
No.
First of all, yeah. Can I talk? Yeah.
Let people talk, for God's sake. He has the mic.
If me may request that we listen to Aliza.
Sorry.
The only people that will speak is Aliza and
so-
the person with the microphone.
So Sumit was asking in general, of course, everything is documented. Yeah, so everything is harvested and we will see how to address it. So, and she was asking only a very precise question to one member of the TDC. That's it. I'm absolutely sure I cannot.
The other one.
Okay. I hope my time starts now, right? So I'm Orsugan, okay? So first of all, I'm not happy with what happened in the recent past. But if that has not happened, this would have not happened. I can give you an example, okay? For a long time, everybody has just seen the whole is not in my end. Because if you saw the presentation, there was a point that was pointed out. In February this year, there was a presentation done by the forest group, okay, about the Bliss Forest and the youth center. But I know I was there for the meeting. Only 20 or 30 members of this resident assembly attended this meeting. Okay? Yes. Okay, the next week, after 2 weeks, there was again a presentation by TDC at the same room. Not even 15 members were there. It was mostly on the same topic. Okay, I was there for both the meetings, because with an expectation of something is going to happen. So for a long time, as a resident assembly, we have not been aware what is a crown road, why is it there, and what is going to come. Now we are talking about problems. But what problem? We are talking about the problem that happened now. So what was the problem that happened before 10 years? What was the problem that happened before 15 years? Are we going to get answers for these questions? So my opinion point for this is, first, write down your problems or write down your questions or whatever is, because a problem identified is more than 80% is solved. Still we don't know what is the problem. I don't know what is the problem. Is it the problem the tree, the road? Okay, is the people? I don't know the problem. We are talking about problem, but everything boils to come and see what happened the problem the last week. Okay, so let's reflect ourselves and see what is the problem that we're going to talk, and let's come together. That is what everybody is talking. Let's come together and find answers for these questions and problems. Okay, thank you.
Hi. Elisa is sitting. Yes, I'm just saying I'll come in for Elisa so that you're not confused.
Hello. Okay. Hello. So, of course, all of us, we are not proud what has happened, the way how it has happened. But it should happen in another way. So, my understanding, since I have been in the town hall building past 15 years, my understanding that this crown has to happen 20 years ago, and professionally it was being delayed and delayed and delayed. So when we got a new secretary who is on power, not on power, who is active and who came to support our vision and our master plan. She takes the file and sees that we have delayed for 20 years. Okay, what is the next step? And for my understanding, Madam has given enough time and sat and spoke with a lot of people to see how we can come to an agreement to move forward. Because everyone says, we agree, we will do it. But when in the moment to come, no. Then there is always a solution, there is always another way. So,
Take 10 seconds to ask.
of course, to come in the night to do the JC work, it's not at all okay. But how to move forward? How to move forward? So now, as we all say, Kripa, everybody says that we all agree with the master plan, as I also feel that we should now move forward, because we will be a fool in front of all these people who have donated money to buy the land and for our project, which from internationally and from India, we will really represent a fool if we are not moving forward to our project. So this is the opportunity to ask Madam to say, we will move forward, we will do the crown, give us the time so we can do the crown. Auroville will build Aurovillians. But if we delay and delay, obviously something is going to happen like what has happened, which is not their mistake if we are not moving forward.
Calm down, please.
Okay.
Calm down. Renu, please sit down. Renu, please sit down. Renu, please sit down. Renu, look.
Unfortunately, we cannot hear you when you don't have a mic. Also, people online will not hear you, and people outside will not hear you. So we have to stick who speaks in front. So this question can unfortunately not answer it now. Please, Selby.
Yeah, finally. Hello. Do you hear me? Good evening. Good evening.
Oh yeah, Kripa was there, but she's sitting there.
Shout. Okay. Now you hear. Okay. Good evening, all of you. See, I am seeing my community, Auroville, as a learning community, progressive community, and which is here for human unity. But today what I see, I don't see anything of what I mentioned today. I really don't see anything. Because there are negative concerns, there are positive concerns. But how the integration comes when you include these two? Positive and negative has to be there. If you do math or if you do building, anything, both sides has to be there. You have to include and you have to listen equally. Clapping, background giving noise. This is what we have learnt being in Auroville as a human unity community. No, this is not what we learnt. And many of you have attended stewardship program. You know, Monica Sharma has taught us not to clap. Why? It's equal respect. You know, you have to give respect on integral level. See, I don't know, I just have some puzzles, and you can still shout background noise or whatever. I just have some puzzles from my experience. When I lived in nursery, I had to build a house, and I went to TDC for permission. But they did not give me permission to build a permanent setup because they said this land is coming up from master plan. And then whenever I have gone to town hall, I have seen the plan myself. Always, whenever I go there, I stand there and look at the plan. So this is what this is puzzles me. Thank you.
So just for your orientation, we have 2 more people who will talk today. We will have another meeting anyway, so we will have more space for people to express. We will have more space for people to pose questions, and hopefully also some answers. Just 1 second. After these 2 people, we will ask the question about the RAD question to take the pulse. So please don't run away. Stay here.
I am new. I'm Aro Bano. I don't know what is the unity. I'm surprised. You can laugh. You can clap. You can whistle. Say Om. No problem. It's also unity. Right time. That's all. I don't know how to speak. Anyway, what has happened last 1 month or 2-3 months, I'm just speaking. There is an adventure, 100 Palmyra tree cut. I don't see people, those people lover. I'm not against this side or that side, very clear. On the Brisbane ground, the 3-4 acres are cut by the trees. Also, the Matrimanti going to make a lake, going to cut many trees. That also in a project. Also, even I'm telling the master plan or this or that, no problem. More or less meter will be gone front and back. I'm working with a Roger, 8 year, more 8 year, is telling whatever I follow. Sometime I give suggestion, he will accept. Yeah, he will accept. The question now, the problem coming where exactly? Cutting tree and in the between road or need a crown road? This is a little bit confusion for me. This is people, anyway, when you develop more city, 7,000, we have to cut the tree. Now, if you want to unity, we'll go and cut the tree tomorrow? Or what is the idea and future to go? Only our problem, not we are in unity. We have to more further development of use. I don't speak much here. I don't have much. Another 1 point. In future, we need a JCP. Don't tell JCP no need. Or right time, the night time or daytime. I'm telling all the plan last few years, working by the JCP. All the development, all the bike, we are going the technology. All the computer are using more technology. Don't play. We are eating every day good chicken, biryani and 65. I don't know what is you are speaking. I am only speaking now, just little putting, because the crowd is so much. Now somebody clap or Om, something do. I'm happy, thank you.
We have 1 more person to speak.
I hope that I am safe speaking at this moment, because I know that many people today are afraid to speak and to give their opinion. So I hope I can speak. What I wanted to say is people spoke as if the delay for the past 20 years was due to one part of Auroville, one section of Auroville, It is not true. It is not true. We all know that the delay has been also due to the inflexibility, to the rigidity, to the dogmatism of the people sitting in L'Avenir. We all know that. I have talked to many people who gave proposals. You know, most of them. There was David, there was Suhasini, there was Gilles Boulico. There were so many people who gave good proposals, and they were not even looked at. They were not even looked at. And more recently, there was this proposal from Paul. I don't know what happened to that proposal. I don't know. But most probably, it was not even looked at. Thank you.
Thank you. One moment. Just one short
No,
notice.
we will come to the
Yeah,
end.
I'm just...
There will no clarification now on any things. There were many things said. We cannot do fact-finding here right now. Many people feel that something that was stated is maybe not true. I think all of us have one or two points that were said where we feel like that doesn't resonate with me. Maybe I even feel this is untrue. But we cannot go into any kind of discussion here now. We will not leave anyone...
Julia, as the RAS, I would say if we can answer some questions right now, and if it won't take much time, I guess we better go for it. Otherwise, we will create this drama over nothing.
No, look, we cannot build a story on things which are factually incorrect. This is can you just be patient for a minute? This is the plan that Mita referred to, where she said this was only done to protect the land. She said that, only for that. Now let us read the first page of that plan. She said it. Now what does but let us read the plan, no? The plan says, the citizens of Auroville appeal to the government of India to take all possible steps to safeguard the land for the realization of this master plan. Not for anything else. The second statement which I want to correct from Mita, she said there is a complete difference between these two plans. There is not a single difference in the layout. There is a difference in the text. This plan, which is prepared by the Auroville community and approved in December 1999, has the circular crown and the radials on 18 pages. You please check it. 18 pages. So, no, please. I'm only correcting Mita, I'm not correcting you. So this document, you can say whatever you like. It is black on white. It was asked. No, it is available. So the point is, even if the original motivation was protection of the land for what? For us to have a comfortable life or to building the city? Yeah, you can shout. And my last point is, why haven't you not brought up the issue of DDP when the solar kitchen was built, all your houses were built, when this Bharat Niwas was built, everything was built. There was no DDP required. No DDP was required. But now when the crown is built, we need a DDP. What doubles? You can woo whatever you like, but you are having double standards. Double standards.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. So, originally, we will have not anyone speak from this front. I will have one question to you. You will have a chance to raise your hands, and then we all go home. So no one will speak. That's clear. In the original agenda, there would have been a part. Can you please listen? There would have been a part where we would all discuss how can we define the question of this RAD further so that it's not only just until further notice. We haven't gone there because we don't have time now. We will have to go there, because that's part of the RID process. We cannot just have a question which says we stop the Crown development until further notice and then what? So we will have to find something very specific and concrete we can all, in the end, agree or disagree with. We haven't so far. All we have now is what we showed up for today, and this is, for now, stop all development work on the Crown until further notice of the RA. This is very broad, and this will not stay like this, that's for sure. But for now, the policy also sees that it is necessary for us to follow the process of an RID to take a pulse in the room at the end. So this is what we're going to do now. Please make sure that you're above 18 in Aurovilian. When you raise your hand, or you don't raise your hand, that's fine. Yes, we will have someone come outside. Please, one person of the RES.
And make sure that everybody that raises hand is an Aurovilian or about 18 years old.
I said that. Please.
Everybody that raises hand for the pulse should be an Aurovilian, 18 years above, and confirmed Aurovilians as well, actually.
So
not volunteers and not newcomers.
The reason why
Yes.
Can we please?
No. That's not the. I think you didn't listen to Julia. Please. I think she's gonna talk about it.
Okay, I can
Please
explain
listen
again.
To her. Yeah, explain it.
I can explain again. We have a very broad question, which right now is quite undefined. It just says we want to stop all development. I mean, the question will be, are you for or against stopping all development work on the Crown until further notice of the RA? So, can you please listen? Usually, we would have talked about defining that question here, but we had no time. It was okay as it was, but we will have to meet again to define the question further. We meet again and define the question further. Nevertheless, part of the policy is that we now take a pulse in the room. Whoever is Aurovilian and under 18.
Sorry, about 18.
Let's go for the youth.
But how do we make sure?
Whoever is over 18 and Aurovilian is in the end allowed to take part of this RAD. So also in this pulse, we can only please make sure that you fall in this category. You're over 18 and Aurovilian. It's not a decision. It's just to take the pulse of the room as it is right now. It's not a decision at all. The pulse is part of the policy, and that's part of the RAD policy. I suggest we all read the policy till the next time, but for now we just go with the pulse. Who is? Please. This pulse has, whoever thinks now yes can always change his mind or her mind to no, and the other way around. So this pulse is just a momentary picture of where we stand. Nothing more and nothing less, but it is needed. So I will ask the question now. Whoever
just to be clear, because that was part of my presentation. So we are not going to vote today. We are not going to take decisions today. What is the question? Okay.
So
she just read the proposal. The policy that you voted 2 months ago in October says that at the end of this meeting, RAS, with the facilitators, is taking the pulse. Doesn't mean anything to me, to be honest. I don't understand it. When I read, I said, what does it mean? I even asked this question. Now, what she will do, she will read again the proposal, and you raise your hands if you feel you are still in favor of that. Then we will have the feedback period. You will have time to give comments, and this proposal can be modified in case you give valuable comments as the petitioners will think.
Well, one correction. It's very important to highlight that actually this pulse is supposed to happen at the second RM and further. So rather today we can focus on the next steps, and probably we can look into that matter which is we all feel a bit unclear about the further notice. So if the room can suggest how we can reformulate that RED, future RED question, so please share now. So that's simple as is. The pulse supposed to happen, and it will take place when we meet again for the second RA meeting. Thank you.
Tatiana, please, what speaks against to just take a pulse now? It's not something that we have to rely on. Why? We can take pulses twice, no?
I don't think so. I mean, why not to just proceed with our...
Calm down, please. Calm down. Look. If we are
just
all
a
walking
clarification
out,
on the policy. I have no opinion here. I will just read out the policy for everyone to have the picture.
Please,
everybody.
Like, take 5 minutes. Okay.
Look. Padmanabhan, please sit down. I request everyone to sit down here. Look, if you're not sitting down here, look, we have to make it. Look, we have.
So, please.
Wait, one moment. Can we all sit down, please? Yeah, let's ask this question.
So, the only thing we can do is follow the policy at the moment. I will stay, Okay, the only thing we can do is follow the policy at the moment. And the policy says, point 2E, 2D, sorry, at the end of every first residents' assembly meeting in a series, the RAS will take a pulse from the RAM, which is RA meeting, attendees, to get a sense of what RAM attendees feel/think about the proposals and about next steps to take before the follow-up RAM. This can be done with the help of facilitators and or resource persons. So that is what is written in the policy. So it's just...
Okay, guys, whoever is here, whoever wants to take a pulse right now and is above 18 and or a Pavilion, please raise your hand if you would for the moment say yes to stop all development work on the Crown until further notice of the RA. Okay. I'm not sure about outside, but here I see many hands. So it's a high support. Yes, okay, I get it.
and all those who says no for it as well, please ask them to raise as well.
Okay. Let's take the pulse for a no.
Pulse for no.
Shh, just
pulse
2 minutes
for no.
more, we're almost done. Shh. Let's see the no. From this moment, who would say, please listen. Please listen. Please raise your hand if you're above 18 and or a Pavilion, and for this moment you would say no to stop all development work on the Crown until further notice of the RA.
Having said that, we're not making the final decision here.
Yes, we
we're
know.
We're not making the final decision here. We will have a follow-up meeting. I need to reinstate that. From the RAS perspective. I'm sorry, you may not be interested to hear that, but we have to work together. I mean, it just cannot be one side, taking pulse, yes, and then we all walk out of the room. That's not the way it is. It needs to be heard. I mean, the minority and the majority has to be heard. So, and we're not making decisions here. So all those who says no to not to go ahead with this RAD, please raise your hands as well so that we can conclude this meeting on the next steps. Can you show of hands?
Outside, no one raised their hands for no.
Show of hands. There is no next question. That's the only question that we had to conclude. So it looks like nobody has said no to this, not to continue with it. And that's the conclusion.
Okay, I'm a bit lost here.
Thank you. We'll take care of that, yeah.
So can you please just elaborate what the next step after this meeting is, Satish?
Right, so the meeting has been completely recorded and by the Oroville radio team, and forgot your name, sorry, Ribu. So apart from all those residents and residents of this community who has been witnessing this meeting today, it has been also observed by the virtual participants in this community. So all the feedback and all the sharings that has happened here, all the questions, all the facts that has been put in here will be communicated to the petitioner coordinating team to consolidate that into their consideration and then come to the next RAM meeting to update on it, and then we meet as a community once again to see how do we move forward with it. So on the other hand, the RAS will also invite feedback from the wider community after reporting this meeting to the wider community in the next couple of days. We will announce. We will announce.
So it will take some time to incorporate the feedback of today.
Yeah, we will discuss with the stakeholders and announce the next meeting because it doesn't rely on our responsibility alone.
I would love to ask for a moment of silence, but I feel it's impossible right now. Okay. Okay, everyone who can hear me, can we please just have a shared moment of silence? Although you might have left the room already, although you feel like sharing about what happened for you, just let's have one moment of silence all together.